Welcome to GLHF, the world's first podcast in video games. We've just crashed in this airplane. Austin, what the heck?
In a forest. I know. What? You want to know what went wrong? Well, based on what I noticed, it was very bumpy. And then the plane came apart. And as you can see at the front of the plane, it's like blown in half. So honestly, the only thing that could probably explain that is that we hit turbulence. And right when we hit turbulence, a missile hit us and exploded the plane.
I was going to say, what do you think could cause the plane to simply be cut in half like this?
Not turbulence. Like, it would have had to have been... Well, it could have come apart when we crashed, right? So I suppose maybe we had a simultaneous dual engine failure while going through the worst turbulence in history. And then we just fell out of the sky. But there's really nothing that can cause the plane to shake around that much in the air other than just turbulence.
I've always been told by the flight attendants that turbulence is not actually dangerous because they tell you well, you have a bird. You've summoned a bird.
I do. There's a little birdie. See you later.
That was weird.
It just happens sometimes.
Completely
I just
distracted
have that aura.
me. You had like a Snow White moment. A bird just approached you. Yeah. You had a beautiful moment.
I look like Snow White, feel like Snow White. We're in the woods like Snow White.
Forgot what I was talking about. The flight attendants always describe it. They describe it like, imagine the plane is in a big vat of Jell-O and the Jell-O is shaking around and it also shakes around the plane, but the air is also shaking. So like, you don't need to worry about it making you crash, basically.
I have never heard a flight attendant describe it like that.
I've heard multiple flight attendants say this. Huh. Yeah.
I've just heard them say, it's not dangerous, don't worry about it.
Right.
Or sometimes they'll be like, it's like your car, you get bumps in the road. It's honestly probably safer than that, but it is overstating it to say it's not dangerous at all because there have been injuries, if it suddenly happens and you get slammed into the top of the fuselage.
Right, but the risk is not that the plane is going to crash. It's that
I believe it has literally never happened.
Or something.
Yeah, or it's never happened to a commercial airliner. And small planes, sometimes it bumps you around a lot, and I'm sure that could, if you're making mistakes, you could snap the wings off and then obviously can't fly when the wings are gone. So, but it doesn't happen to big planes, not yet. So yeah, whatever took this plane down was turbulence. Turbulence happened, but it was unrelated to the cause. I think probably a missile, just given the general
maybe a
state of the wreckage, but
some kind of malicious third party.
Yeah, it could. Well, the missile, right? A malicious third party.
A missile, yeah, but so first of all, we're in the game.
Or do you mean like a bomb? Which I guess is a missile, but
I guess
I
was thinking some kind of supernatural curse. Oh, you're going to get a bird again. Look at you.
Yeah.
What is this about?
If it's emotional support, it absorbs negative energy.
We're in the game, the forest, guys. We're covered in blood. Maybe the rain will wash our blood off.
Hopefully.
We've just crashed.
We're slowly starving.
I've actually only played a little bit of this game before. I actually streamed it a little bit with Noah and then never again, because that's what I do sometimes. I stream a game and then I say, see you next episode. There's no next episode.
Never again.
That's it.
I was talking to someone the other day and they were like, well, I responded to a comment and I said that I was going to do this. They wanted me to make a video about a thing and I responded and said I was gonna. Is that a problem? And I said, no, you can lie.
You can just lie to people.
Constantly, like all the time. The list of things I've said I was going to do and didn't do is like probably longer than the list of things I've done. It's just an endless list of things. So yeah, you're allowed to do that as a YouTuber. You're allowed to do that.
I was thinking recently about this. It was like some Blue Sky thread or something I was reading where it's like dealing with difficult people that are like very demanding. Like sometimes you can just say, yeah, okay, I'll do that, and then just not do it.
Yes, I use that trick a lot in my old job. It's important because like
at a job especially,
you really have to read. You have to know what type of person you're dealing with, because the ideal type of person is the person who says that they need things done and they actually need them done, but they only tell you things that actually need to get done, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people are the annoying type, which is they tell you to do just whatever shit is bothering them right that second. Half of it doesn't need to get done. Those people yeah, you just go, yeah, I'll take care of it. It's going to be great. No worries. You just say.
And guess what? Most of the time, they forget about it.
Yep. And it doesn't end up mattering. And then when they do remember it, by the time they remember it, it's no longer important. So you can go, oh, I never got around to that. I'm sorry. And then they go, well, it didn't end up mattering anyway. So it's fine. So it is, you never want to not do things that do need to get done. Yeah. But if it doesn't,
but you
definitely could just lie.
Yeah. Like you said, you need to know what kind of person you're dealing with. Because when you realize it's this type of person, then it's like, okay, I know how to handle this. Because there's nothing more infuriating. And I had this at office jobs before where like somebody says that something needs to get done and they seem like really concerned about it. And so you put a shit ton of effort into it and like write up a thing. And then that's how
I learned. Yes.
You email it to them and they never respond. And like there's and nothing comes of it.
Constantly. This is it. That was like I think that you learn that lesson anytime you get into any kind of position of like importance at a job. Is like someone says they want you to look into something. And yeah, you put a ton of work. I remember there was a thing in my last job where I don't know how this happened, but someone in the upper management had come to me and they said, someone is wondering how much it might cost to replace all the menu boards in one of the restaurants, not even the one I worked at, but one of the other restaurants, with TVs. Because they thought there was some advantages to having them as screens because we were constantly updating our menus. And they were like, can you look into that? And I really don't know why it was me. Maybe just because I was like the youngest
it's not even the one
person
where you worked.
But they were like, kind of like, well, maybe we'll do it here too. And you know about technology, so you should look into it, I guess.
Yeah. The classic technology curse. You don't want that reputation.
I did a whole write-up. I sent it out. It was like I did like a graphic designed single sheet. I even made it one sheet because I knew they weren't going to read more than that.
Right.
Nothing happened.
Sometimes you have to treat upper management like elementary schoolers for real.
Yes. And now the thing is, though, the other thing that I don't know if you had this experience working with like manager people, but have you noticed how like the higher up in an organization people get, the shorter and more curt their email responses become?
Yes.
Did you have that experience at all?
For sure, yeah.
And I always thought that was interesting.
Sometimes even like lowercase, minimal punctuation. Yep. And it'll say sent from my iPhone.
It'll just say yes or sure. And I used to not understand why that happened, but I actually am getting to the point that I want
are you
to
turning into
be that guy. And I'm fighting it. And thank God I have someone else to help answer my emails who's very, warm and friendly. But it's just the thing of like, the more things you communicate in an email, the more there is like, there's more work for everybody because you got to read through it. And there's also more room for like, not vagueness, but like a lot of small talk kind of warmth sometimes can introduce a little ambiguity. And so it's just, you're cutting all this stuff out and you also have like 1,000 things to do. And the thing you're answering to the person who's emailing you is like the one thing they're worried about, but it's like one of 100 things you're worried about. And so you're just thinking, let me get it answered and whatever. Now, I don't know that that's totally the right move because you should have empathy and understand that for the other person, this is like a bigger part of their life than it is your life, and you should give it some weight. So there's a middle ground there, but I'm fighting that urge to just be like, sure, sent. And sometimes I even do that.
I don't do small talk in emails, really.
So what's the argument against just saying no, as opposed to like, no, I don't really think I want to do that, but I appreciate your input. Thank you. Have a good day.
Yeah, I guess
why not just say no?
At least putting it into a full sentence shows that you're like paying attention. I feel like my problem with the people that end up sending the really short emails like that is that half the time they actually didn't even read everything you said and they're actually not giving you the answers you need.
Yes, that is 100% true. Or you'll be like, hey, would you like me to do option A or option B? And they reply and just say like, yes.
Sounds good.
Okay, well, yeah, sounds good. Sounds good is a classic. That is a classic manager response.
They didn't read shit. Sounds good.
I mean, and it's crazy because as anyone will tell you, 90% of the functioning of anything in a group, whether it's like a business or a group project or whatever, 90% of it is making sure everyone understands what everyone's saying and communication.
Yeah.
And so it's crazy that that's like, I would say that causes, 90% of problems in group settings. Are you getting a bird?
Oh, got a bird. I get a bird.
Congrats. Wow,
you've been getting all the birds.
Yeah, well, I smell like bird seed.
It's funny that that's not just idle animation. Like we both see that happen at the same time. You know what I mean? Like they bothered to sync it to the multiplayer. That like that's something that's happening.
I love. That's not a pet peeve, but like, you ever play an online game and it's like one player will hear like a voice line from an NPC and the other players don't hear it.
And you're not experiencing the same thing.
I hate that. Like I wanna be on the same page. And was it Left 4 Dead was like one of the first games, or maybe I'm thinking of Call of Duty Zombies, but one of the first games I played where it was like synced up. Like if a zombie screamed from one place, everyone heard it spatially in the same way, which I think is great.
Yeah. It's complicated as hell to implement that stuff though.
I bet.
Like but I didn't realize
God bless people who do.
When I was doing all that research for my Roblox video where I actually like made a Roblox game, it was much more involved than I thought, and that I'm sure there's like plugins you can get and stuff to make this stuff easier. But as far as like the regular base kind of Roblox engine that you can use if you just download their like game making program or whatever, there's like a surprisingly small amount of stuff that's actually implemented for you. Like one thing that I would think would be implemented for you is syncing all the multiplayer stuff. And that's just not true. You have to explicitly go in and say, we're going to sync these things and not these things. You have to like spell it all out. Like this animation that this character is doing, I want that to be synced to the multiplayer or not.
Jesus. So all the Roblox games that we just like half-ass play, that they're synced. Like any of that stuff, somebody really had, even the worst of them.
Yeah, and like I said, I'm sure that there's probably, I was just doing it with no plugins or anything, but from what I was seeing, it seemed like there's actually not that much of the programming stuff that's handled by the engine that they give you. So again, it's like shocking to me that children do make games on Roblox.
It's pretty incredible what people have done with that. I was also playing, when's the last time you played Fortnite?
Basically never. I think I've probably played Fortnite a total of perhaps 4 times.
So I won't say I'm going through a Fortnite phase, but I've been like semi-regularly hopping on. Fortnite is like Roblox now. They just have like a gajillions
they have
of
everything.
Games. And obviously the Battle Royale is still like probably the most fun, but like I was playing a golf game in Fortnite the other day and I was just like, whoa, what? How do they do this? This is crazy. It's like it's another everything game.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you got Roblox and you got GTA 6, and that'll probably be the same way somehow. We're done. What else do you need aside from Fortnite? We'll have to do a video, podcast in Fortnite. So I guess it's probably like 700 gigs.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's one of the ones we haven't done just because it's so huge. But yeah, I agree. We don't need other games. I mean, obviously,
3's enough.
The mini games on Fortnite and Roblox pretty much cover all genres. I don't know why we would need anything more.
If you could only play one game like for the rest of your life, it would be Genshin, right? Like you just had to pick one. Am I right about that? Or let's say if you could pick 2, what would you pick? Because that lets you kind of hedge. Like then you don't have to pick in everything. It's dark as hell. Can you even see me anymore?
Not really. I mostly see your wolf shirt. By the way, I wanted you to describe more about what I look like because I don't know. You said before we started that I look like Eddie Burback.
Yeah, I would say that's 80% of the way.
I would say you also look kind of like Eddie Burback. You have a mustache and stuff. Yeah, glasses, mustache. Wait, does he have glasses? I have glasses blindness. I've talked about this before.
Really? Like you don't remember if people
I can't recall if you like name somebody that I know, I can't like recall immediately if they wear glasses or not because I just see the soul inside. I don't pay attention to that.
Oh, wow. That's beautiful. You kind of like those people who don't see color.
I don't see glasses.
You don't see nearsightedness. All right, I'm going to name a famous celebrity and you tell me if they wear glasses or not, okay? And I'm going to try to pick ones that like would always wear them or not.
Not a lot of celebrities even wear glasses though, but okay.
John Lennon.
He's got those little circle glasses, right?
He sure does. He sure does. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
The problem is I feel like, most celebrities, like, even if they need glasses, they just don't wear them most of the time.
No, because they make you look like a fucking nerd. And you got to look cool when you're a celeb. Are you gone? I'm alone.
They make you look like a what?
Did you disappear for a second?
No, I was in stunned silence at the offensive language I just heard come out of your mouth.
Really?
Did you not realize I wear glasses? Are you so glasses blind that you didn't realize I have them? Jesus Christ.
I know you do. Are you not a nerd?
No, fucking nerd. I'm not. Are you crazy? No shot. No shot. You think me and John Lennon? Steve Carell?
Sometimes you really do disconnect. I 100%. I heard nothing. I heard silence. I didn't even hear the sound of the room.
I was holding my breath. I was like dead, totally silent, selling it. Totally silent. Well, yeah. I think people who have bobs look like fucking dorks.
Good. That's my intention.
All right, good. Well, there you go. Embrace it. All right, one more. How about Harry Potter? No. Malcolm X? No.
Malcolm X did have glasses, I think.
He sure did. Very good. All right. I can't think of any other celebrities that like definitely do. Johnny Depp.
No. I don't think so.
Are you sure? Because if you search Johnny Depp,
does he have a lot of
Google
glasses
Images,
pics?
I would say it's probably like 40% of them actually. But it's significant. It's a significant number.
Don't you feel like when you look up pictures of Johnny Depp, in like half of these, he's kind of like sucking his cheekbones in a little bit to like make them more pronounced?
Definitely when he was younger, he was hella doing that. But, well, no, it looks like when he's older, too, a little bit.
I think he is a little.
Yeah. He should just get that surgery.
Yeah, the buccal fat removal.
Buccal? Is it called buccal? Buccal fat?
I don't know if it's buccal or buccal.
I wish you could just see how it would look on you. Like, if there was a way I could get a temporary plastic surgery just to see. I guess you could probably, like, Photoshop your face type shit. But
for sure,
I think it'd be fun to be able to Sims your own face. But you need a lot of money and time.
I had a question that I wanted to bring to the pod of my own, actually. Okay. I do have some emails as well, but I had a question earlier because I was watching a segment of the news, and well, it was about the this wonderful 4th of July celebration happening in Washington, D.C. right now.
Oh, yes, I had some people tweet pictures of that.
But also, I'm about to probably die of freezing to death and thirst, but that's okay.
And hunger and thirst and all of the above. Happens. Yeah, just kill me.
But
hit me with your hatchet.
Oh, sure.
Nice.
That actually hurt you? Yeah, we'll just kill each other. Surely we'll just wake up back on the plane.
I think I won. Yeah, I totally won. Yeah, we'll probably just wake up on the plane.
Anyway, I'll
be outside whenever you come back.
I was watching the news and wondering, there's people eating us. There's people eating me anyway.
People? Oh, is that how this works? Cannibal time?
And I was wondering why in the year 2026 is there still a delay when they like call a field correspondent, you know? And they go, now we're going to gym in the field.
Yeah,
and there's 5 seconds of pause.
What? That is a good question. It has to be. Boy. Well, I'm sure we could Google it, but before we do, let's see if we can work this out. So my first assumption is the original technology was for like satellite correspondence in other countries, right? And so you're beaming it across the globe via space. There's not internet.
Right.
And so my assumption is they just never updated that technology. So even if they're going to Washington, D.C., they like bounce it into space. But I guess now even there's like Starlink, which is internet that bounces to space, and the delay on that's like 100 milliseconds or something.
You know, like we're talking over the internet right now. I can FaceTime somebody on my phone, and there is not as bad of a delay as there is over the news.
But is it perfect 4K video that never drops?
But they wouldn't need to send the 4K to each other. They would just need to have the conversation. You know what I mean?
What do you mean they don't need to send the 4K? Because isn't this like a field correspondent, someone in the field with a microphone?
Yeah, but like they could have a separate system for the two people to communicate versus sending all that footage to the news or whatever. You know what I mean? They could be communicating in more real time the way that we're talking on Discord right now, but we're not like sending each other our videos.
But you're saying, but they want the 4K video feed, right?
To get to the news.
Somehow I'm not understanding what you're saying. I'm still very confused. Let's back up one more time. Can you walk me through this again?
I'm saying whatever system they have to be live sending the footage to the news station that is then publishing it to the news does not have to be the same one that they're talking over. Like they could just call each other on a phone and have a more real-time conversation.
But then how are they gonna... But it's live.
As they're sending the footage live. I don't know. Maybe what I'm saying doesn't make sense. I'm just saying. I think it's crazy that we haven't solved this problem.
Yeah, I mean,
because they could at least make the conversation sound more natural, is what I'm saying. Does that not make sense?
But what you're saying is, the thing I'm confused about is how you're somehow getting the natural conversation over the internet and also getting the 4K video that's synced up with the conversation, and it's all happening live.
Maybe
how are you solving
that
problem?
Because maybe, yeah.
How are you going to sync it up? Or maybe what you're saying is, you have the natural conversation, you get the video feed in. The video feed is going to be, 5 seconds delayed. But then what you do when you're sending it out to broadcast is you just delay the conversation part by 5 seconds to match it with that. And therefore you have a natural conversation that happens synced up with the 4K video. That's kind of what you're saying.
Perhaps. I just think there's got to be some way to do it through like delaying the stream or something. But maybe it doesn't make sense.
There definitely is a way to do it. I mean, there's definitely a way to do it. Because even like there are people who stream on Twitch at 4K, whatever. Like if you had internet infrastructure, you definitely could.
But
could you just stand out? I mean, honestly, you probably don't. People live they IRL stream on Twitch, and looks pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. It must be that they're using that. My guess is they're still just relying on satellites because they want availability no matter where they're standing in whatever country they're standing, and they don't want to like have all these different systems. So they just keep it simple and have a delay, and then it's awkward as heck.
Yeah, maybe. I just think it's funny that
that's my guess.
It's just this is just the way it is, and it's always so awkward every time. And it made me think of like if I was a newscaster, maybe I would develop a technique where I'd develop a habit of interrupting people at the end of their sentence so that it sounds normal when it goes over the satellite. You know what I mean?
I wonder. Yeah, I really do wonder that because some newscasters actually are good at, I feel like, guessing when the sentence is wrapping up.
Yeah.
And I feel like I don't know if you agree, but I feel like you and I kind of do this over Discord because we don't have any body language. So we have to kind of guess a little bit when somebody is like done talking versus when they're not done talking.
Yeah,
and so sometimes we get these interruptions and stuff. And I feel like some news broadcasters are good at that. I've noticed it for sure.
Yeah,
so news
or some of them do kind of do a thing where they start, as the other person's wrapping up, they start going, yeah, to like fill the silence.
Yeah. And it's like, it's not an interruption, but it like leaves this bridge that signals to the other person that like, hey, we're like a handoff can kind of happen underneath those like noises almost.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
But also it's kind of bold and brave in a way to just stare with a smiling face in silence at the camera until
I do really appreciate
you start talking.
It takes a real kind of Chad confidence to just sit there, don't even try. Just,
or you know what?
Just put it out.
Maybe if I owned a news station, I would do like just like a fun little animation or something to fill that couple seconds instead of just having the camera on one or the other of them. Like I would make a little animation of like like a little loading bar. Like, oh, we're loading the next thing.
They will have like a little, like at the initial thing, they'll go, we're going to go to our correspondent in the field. Jim, how you doing? And it'll go,
yeah, I think that's the answer. Yeah, I like that.
Right. But that doesn't fix it later in the conversation because you can't just keep replaying that same transition every time there's a question and answer.
I think I would like that.
You could. Maybe do a proof of concept perhaps.
Yeah.
And then we'll see how it looks and feels. But
anyway, I was just
the news.
I was checking in on the 250 America celebration that's happening. I don't know how much you've seen of it, but
yeah,
genuinely
I've seen
seems
all
like
of the like viral things.
Well, there's not much to see because it seems like 100% of the event is there's like the big grass field with stuff on either side and these like really sad exhibits about each state. And then there's the Ferris wheel, which is the only ride or interesting thing to do at all.
Is that the only ride? No, it's the only one. They brought one Ferris wheel?
Yes, it's the only ride. And it's like broken most of the time from what I've heard.
Huh. I mean, it is tricky.
Music stage.
I've seen the pictures of that. Did you see the one with the guy in his glasses?
I don't know. I saw a video of a cover band that was up there doing a cover of like a Beyonce song. And there were more people in the band than there were in the crowd. There was like 7 people on stage and like 3 people sitting on the grass watching them.
Yes, there is a picture. I wish I could find the full picture, but I'm only able to find, unfortunately, the cropped version. But there was this picture of like this performer performing on stage with someone, with her guitarist next to her. So this is just the cropped in of the guitarist that I'm sending to you. But people took that and they zoomed in on his glasses. This was posted on the official account for the thing, and the caption, of course, was like, "Wow, such a great day at America 250." And if you zoom in on his glasses, you can see there's like maybe 9 people in the audience for this whole thing. It's hard with these things because like I do feel like I've seen pictures of things that made things look. It's so funny that we both just give up on looking at each other in the game.
Wait, where are you?
The moment we die, I'm right behind you.
I thought I was gonna die too. So we look different every time. You've respawned as a completely new man.
You still look the same, but kind of older. You kind of look like I don't know, older.
Oh, whoa. Here comes a bird.
You're pointing at me, yeah. But it's always hard to say because like I've seen. I noticed this first. It's not quite the same thing, but I've noticed this first with hurricanes when they would come through New Orleans. And before I moved down here, you would see on the news, it would be like hurricane came through and it would just be like destruction and flooding. And you'd be like, wow, they got fucked. But then when you're here and one happens, barring there's obviously happened some that have been very serious, but a lot of the times it's just like there's like a 6 block area that got flooded for like a couple hours and they got some good footage of it. Or like a couple houses did get like fucked up, but like 99% of everything's fine.
Yeah.
And so it does like, it's always hard to parse, but I am at the point with this now that I can't really see a world where the pictures I've seen can all exist without it being an empty, creepy space. Like there's been enough that it's hard to say, but it makes me want to go and see, see what the vibe is.
Yeah, the news clip I was watching was definitely felt a little propaganda-y because they interviewed like 3 people that were attending and they were all like super into it and said it was great. They said this one guy said there's so much to see you can't even see it in one day, and I'm looking at everything there is to see in the footage. That's like that's it actually.
It seems very, very
and then
weird.
They had
we'll see how it is.
I hate when I see like kids that have clearly been kind of like brainwashed by their parents to say stuff. Because there was a 10-year-old kid in the video that was like, yeah, this just makes me feel really proud to be an American and I can't wait to go back to school and say that this was my favorite part of summer vacation. And I'm like,
no shot, dude.
I know
he's going to get laughed at so hard. And you're like, you went to that cringe festival. Ugh.
And there's no way that a 10-year-old had fun at that thing from what I've seen. So,
yeah. Well, I mean, you can say that, but also that maybe they just interviewed like 110-year-olds. Like, and surely one of them is having a blast. And that's all it takes to paint the picture.
Perhaps. But yeah, it makes me uncomfortable when I see kids at protests and stuff. Like I've seen like
it is interesting
pro-Trump rallies and stuff where there's a bunch of kids that are like yelling along with everybody and like excited, and I'm like, ooh.
Yeah.
Because they just don't know what they're talking about.
Part of being a kid is like you just get dragged to stuff. But when I was a kid, I don't remember a single time where I got taken to like a protest and was, well, you get taken to like protests and stuff and like marches, but it's not like you go there and it's like you have to participate. You're just going there because your parents are going and there's like some kind of solidarity, I guess. But I don't know. It doesn't, like, at the end of the day, has there ever been a kid? This is such an ignorant statement because there totally has been, and you can correct me as soon as I'm done saying it, but I'm going to say it first.
Sure.
Has there ever been a kid that like grew up and was taught a political philosophy from their parents that didn't like grow out of it, you know? The answer is obviously yes. There have been a lot of them probably, but...
Yeah, but I mean, in general, I think about how when I was like 10 to 12... there were moments where I thought I had political opinions, right? I'm just like repeating things that my parents or other adults have said around me. Because I have no idea. Like in hindsight, I can recognize that I had no idea what the fuck I was talking about. And it's like cringe that I was saying anything. Even if it's stuff that I do agree with now, it's like, I know 100%. That I just was repeating things.
And so I guess the operative question for me is, does the participation in those things... Because eventually you just form, in some sense, your own opinions. And did your participation in these things where you were just saying slogans actually even have an impact on what your opinions ended up being? Or did you come to those because of like some other, set of circumstances?
Yeah,
that
I don't know.
Grown up in?
I just feel like it's, I just think it's cringe to like...
It's super cringe.
Get your kids involved in your political views.
Now, in the same breath, like... It's hard because, and we don't have to get into specifics necessarily because we don't like having big, deep political discussions, right? But you and I are broadly politically aligned, and I can think of examples where if I saw a kid saying, like at a certain type of march saying certain things, I'd be like, hell yeah, good for you, And maybe the difference is like if it's for a political candidate, that's when it's cringe, or like a specific political party.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I can kind of think of examples where I'm like, well, wouldn't I be happy if there was a kid, marching for whatever, like pro-trans something or whatever. I'd be like, oh yeah, hell yeah. But is that really like political? But like it is political, so I don't know. But I agree that when it comes to like being a Trump supporter, it's cringe. If you're a kid, that's where I can say that for sure.
Yeah, we can say that for sure.
That's where we'll draw the line. It does give me, I don't know if I would say national pride, but some kind of American themed pride. This might surprise you. Any guesses?
Cosmic brownies.
Remember those brownies I sent you? Exactly.
Wait, did I guess?
No. That was my joke answer, but it was a great. It was a great guess because those, when I eat those, my God. You know how 2 pods ago, we ironically sort of were talking about the World Cup. I'm in it. I'm all the fuck locked in on. I'm World Cup pilled.
Wait,
like,
what?
Totally.
Like recently?
And I'm having a blast. What since the World Cup has started. I think it just sounded like fun. And
you like rooting for a team?
We're rooting for America, obviously, but also like other teams. But that, you have a hierarchy. And I've now just gotten into the whole like, here's something I didn't realize you could do with a sport. You can watch a bunch of different games that don't involve the team you're rooting for. And I would have thought that would have been really boring, but it's actually really fun. Because then you start getting a lot of context. And as you see the different teams playing the different teams, you're like, oh, that's that team who I watched do this, and they came back from this. They were down by 2, and they came back and they won, and then all these stories start coming up, and so on and so forth. So, yeah, I'm all in on the World Cup. I'm rooting for our boys in blue or whatever. No, I shouldn't say it that way. Well, they do sometimes wear blue, but I'm rooting for our boys. I'm rooting. I like our coach. We're playing good. And I now understand how.
Speaking of the boys in blue,
soccer works.
Those American flags people do with they put the blue line on it, and then I think they put the red line on it to symbolize like firefighters or something. I don't know. They keep adding lines to this flag.
Yes, it's like the conservative version of the pride flag.
I was going to say it's turning into a pride flag because it's like rainbow.
It's all of their genders. It's firefighters, police officers,
their genders.
Army guys. Yeah, exactly. They're all men somehow.
Their genders are all like first
responders and
things that a 10-year-old boy would say he wants to be when he grows up. That's the genders.
Exactly. There's going to be one for dinosaur at some point.
Yeah.
I did just find this one because I was Googling it to try and get a reference picture to remember exactly what you were talking about. So this one I found, it has 6 lines or 7.
Oh my God. What do they all stand for?
Okay, I'm going to tell you.
Yeah.
At the top, let's start from the bottom. At the bottom is a white line, which stands for the EMS. Okay, we like the EMS. Shout out to all of our EMS. Next up is red, fire department. Next up is orange, dispatch, 911 operators. Okay. And then you got the blue for law enforcement. Above that is gray for corrections, which I assume means people who are guards at the prison.
Guards, yeah.
And then up above that is green for the armed forces. And then the top one is yellow, and it just says security.
Your mall security guard?
Mall cops? So I guess they just needed to fill it out.
Can I just note that all of these are, well, I guess besides like your private mall security, all of these are public services, which are things that the people they vote for want to defund.
Yeah. Except for
the police and the military.
Like the green one and the army. Yeah, exactly.
Like those two make sense together, I guess, if you're that kind of person. But they're running out of lines to add. They're going to have to start adding like the library, which I would agree with.
Oh my God. That would be incredible. We should get a library flag.
But like, I wonder what makes them draw the line between like, okay, we're going to support like EMS, but not the library. You know what I mean?
The thing here that doesn't fit for me is EMS fire department, because the rest of these things are like state. I mean, you could say dispatch, I suppose, because like our 911 operators, obviously we stand, but they are the people who get the police. So like everything in that top part does have to do with bringing people with guns to stop bad guys, right? Like, and that's the way they think about it. Is like it's a good guy coming to stop the bad guys. Whereas like fire department EMS is different. Total side note though, did you know how America has its own soccer teams, right? So there's like Miami and whatever. One of the soccer teams for America is the Chicago Fire Department. They just have a soccer team that plays on the national stage, and they're actually not bad.
And you have to be on the fire department to be in it?
That I didn't look into the details there. It's just called Chicago FD or whatever for fire department.
Goddamn, that means all those guys have 2 jobs.
Yeah. I don't know. They work hard. That's a good question. Yeah. Maybe that's, you know what? I should have looked this up. Maybe that's just the name of the Chicago team. Maybe they're just called the
Chicago Fire.
And I thought it was the fire department.
Wait, you actually don't. I should look this confirmed up. This?
Well, because none of the other ones say those types of things in their titles. It'll be like New York City, Toronto, whatever. But every time I saw the list, they would call it Chicago Fire. So I assumed it had something to do with the fire department. But it probably doesn't.
Yeah, I don't think so, dude. I think it's just It's called the Chicago Fire.
I just looked it up. It's just named after the Great Chicago Fire.
Of
1871.
I love that happened in your mind, though.
I liked it better. Yeah, I liked it better when I thought that was the case.
I like what you constructed in your mind palace there about the fire department having a team.
I feel like fire department, they would make great soccer players.
Sounds real because it's like, all kinds of organizations or like small businesses will have like a softball team that participates in their local league or whatever.
Exactly.
Like it makes some kind of sense.
The U.S. Navy football team for whatever. It's like, this is a thing.
Sure.
No, I'm wrong. Why do they call themselves Chicago Fire when everyone else just calls themselves like, Minnesota? I don't know. But
I mean, sounds pretty badass.
I got into soccer 7.5 days ago, so I'm still learning.
You're learning.
I'm figuring it out.
Here's the thing, though. In what manner are you watching these games? Because when I've tried to watch a sports game, I'm just like so bored. Like, are you?
Oh my God, I'm hyped.
We're
hooting, we're hollering.
But are you sitting there watching it with your full attention, or do you just have it on in the background and you're like just chilling with people?
Full attention. We are full attention. Because soccer actually moves. I won't say it moves fast, but like it's not like football. And I like football too, well enough, but it's not like American football where it's pausing constantly or whatever. Like,
yeah,
football
they just start like the 3 seconds of gameplay and then like 5 minutes of
they stretch it out, right? 5 minutes of patriotic advertisements. But yeah, I'm sitting there just watching because like there is a lot to, just like with any sport, there is a lot to look at once you learn how to look at it.
Sure.
And so that's kind of been what I've been trying to figure out. It would be like, some people, they watch like ballet and they're like, sucks, which I agree. It's boring. But if I knew how to watch it, it wouldn't be boring anymore. And I think it's probably similar to that. So yeah, I'm locked in. We went to a bar to watch the American game yesterday. It was hype as heck. We had a great time.
I just learned something about football recently. Oh,
tell me.
You
died.
But just that, I guess when you what's it called? When you kind of like trick somebody and shoot the ball between their legs, it's called a nutmeg. I learned that.
Oh, like if you trick the goalie and shoot it between their legs?
Like maybe not just shooting it into the goal, but if like, you're running towards an opponent. See, I don't know any words. So
you just kind of go like
stupid. But you go like boop and get around them by like putting it between, dribbling it between their legs.
I saw some of the people do that yesterday, and I was like, "Damn, that looked really cool," but I didn't know it had a name.
It's called a nutmeg.
Why is it called that? Do you think?
Because you kick them in the nuts. I don't know.
On the way past them, you kind of give them a little.
I don't know why it's called a nutmeg. I think it's called different things by different people, but the Wikipedia article says nutmeg.
Oh, well, nutmeg.
There you go.
Now you know. So.
But yeah, I guess I can imagine soccer being more interesting than a lot of other sports, but like,
I kind of feel like with sports how I feel about video games, which is all of them are fun. You just have to like decide that you like them. That's how I feel about everything. If you just like decide that you want to be into baseball,
force yourself to be into it.
Yeah, but then it works. And I mean, and I guess what I would say is everything you like, you didn't choose to like you. It's not like the things you like are different than the things you don't like. It just so happens that they hit at the right time. They have all the same qualities as all the things that you do like. And that's my argument in terms of how we decide what we like and don't like. So I decided to like soccer, and now I like it. And once the World Cup's over, I won't like it anymore.
Yeah. I write things off sometimes. I mean, I've realized this with games. I've said this about like my streams and stuff before. Is that I'll write off things that I think I'm not gonna like, and then if you
look like Jacob Geller now.
Oh, nice.
Different. You're just being different YouTubers.
But if I give stuff a chance, I can grow to like it. Is what I'm saying. Like I need to just be trying more stuff because sometimes I don't realize I'm gonna like something until I actually like give it a chance. Yeah.
And there's a line, obviously, like some things you probably will never like.
I don't think I'm going to get into sports. I'll just tell you right now. Sports is not happening for me, but that's okay.
Yeah. Do you like watching anything that's sport adjacent? Do you like watching anything competitive? Do you like playing competitive things? Because if not, then I could see that being a boundary for you.
I mean, if I'm flipping through the TV and I see like a monster truck rally, I'm watching that. Does that count?
Competitive? Are they fighting? I thought they were just kind of doing stuff.
Wait,
they're playing monster truck rallies on your TV?
I'm talking about like being at family's house that actually have like cable or whatever. I don't watch TV, like actual
I didn't know
TV.
They broadcast monster truck rallies. That's what I'm saying. I thought that was just like you go there in person.
Or like WWE.
Okay. If you can enjoy WWE, I could see you enjoying any sport then. Because it's the same concept.
No. WWE,
yeah, it's just a competition.
I realized it's theater to an extreme degree. Like these guys are theater kids through and through.
It's like Roman, deep down Roman theater, like old school.
I genuinely didn't realize archetypes. I didn't realize until my brothers got into it. Like when my brothers were little, especially like elementary school, middle school age, they were really into WWE and they had like their favorites and they could like tell you all the drama between the different guys. And I didn't realize until I like saw them watching it how ridiculous it truly is. Because I had always heard of it as being like, it's wrestling, but it's like, but everything's fake. And I guess I thought that there was more of a debate going on about how fake it was than there is. Because when you watch it, it's like, there's no debate. It's a very elaborate performance with like costumes and like stuff that obviously, unless you are maybe 6 years old, you would never believe that this is real, whatever real means in this context. But it's really funny. Like it's fucking hilarious. And I kind of love the attitude that a lot of the WWE guys must have where like they're all in, you know? Like they're really putting on a show and they're completely like locked in, and their facial expressions and everything, like you have to respect that level of performance.
Yes. Okay, I'm going to try to make a connection here.
Sure.
And see. So I hear what you're saying, but I think the surprising thing is, obviously it looks extremely silly and camp and like not believable from the outside. But I do think that once you accept like the language of WWE, and I'm not a fan of it, but I know a lot of people who are, once you accept the language of it, it just becomes like you could cry, or you would take it quite seriously once you're into the world of it. And I think it's basically like anime, which you famously love, right?
Love it. Sure.
Love it.
I'm not against like anime, it for the viewers. I just don't. I don't watch a lot of it.
Or honestly, it's a lot like theater in general, right? Or musicals, right? Which I famously love. The first time you watch like a musical or an anime, it does come across as like really weird, super cringe, like silly, like impossible to take seriously, like all the over exaggerated whatever. But once you're just like watching a musical and like you're into it, it will be just as moving as like the greatest novel. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And
yeah.
I kind of think WWE is the same way. Not to be a WWE defender,
buy
again,
into it to a degree where you're actually like shedding tears from the emotions.
I'm only speaking from people I know who do. Yeah. They're like and it is funny to them too. It doesn't lose the camp and whatever.
They will have plot lines where it's like, this guy is actually this guy's son and he died, or like they thought he was dead, and then he comes back and they reunite and they're like sobbing in each other's arms. Like that kind of stuff happens.
Yeah, it's like soap operas almost. And again, it's like the same thing of like, from the outside, you're like, how could anyone like take this seriously? But I do think it's no different than, I really think it's not that different from something like anime, where it's like crazy, crazy, crazy stuff. Video games could be another example, right? Where it's like if you play a video game and the first time you see a story in a video game happen, you're like, wait, why is everyone just standing right next to each other having this conversation? You know, why aren't they like emoting or moving? And why is this? Why is every conversation broken up by 8 hours of wandering in the woods? That doesn't make any sense. But once you just accept it, or it's not even accepting it, it's just you adjust,
just becoming immersed
to the language, right? Then it totally works. So, and kind of that's why soccer is also fun. It's the same thing. It's thrilling stories, and they're not scripted necessarily. So maybe that's like a difference. But in terms of what you're watching, sports is not that different from theater. You know, it's just it's like improv comedy, but improv ball kicking.
Damn.
I know.
Who's your favorite player?
I mean, Messi's crazy. And now every time I see that guy, do you know Alex Honnold, the climber guy?
Oh, yeah.
Messi reminds me of him, but for soccer, just like a weird little freak who's just way too good at something. And I like people like that. I have a lot of respect. Like David Blaine, I feel the same way about. Just like, how are you? You're such a freak. How good you are at this. It's so weird. So,
yeah,
I mean, Messi's goated. But obviously, all the American people are. That's who I'm rooting for right now until they're gone.
He's like a little older, right? He's 39. Is that old for
Messi? Yeah, he's
football?
getting
He's been doing it a long time.
He has been. This will probably be his last World Cup ever. He won last time with Argentina. Argentina is still crazy good. They'll probably be in the final again this time, but you never know. America probably won't be, but I'm rooting for them every step of the way. You know, they've gotten. This is the farthest.
Is America pretty good?
Gotten, and they are ranked like 15th in the world now. They're really, really. They have I doubt they have a chance to make it past the quarterfinals, but I think they could make it to the quarterfinals, and then they're going to play like an actually great team and probably get killed. But if they make it to the quarterfinals, I'm going to be hyped as heck for them. It's going to be very, very impressive. They've really turned around and done a great job. Good job, team. Let's go. Rah, rah, rah.
Do you have to be from the country to be on the team? Aren't there instances of people being like traded to other countries?
Yeah, so this was one of the things that initially piqued my interest, as I was like, how does that work? Because like it's the World Cup, but like I swear some of the people on the American team like aren't American. So there's rules from FIFA about how this works.
Okay.
Now, you talk about trading players and this player plays for this team. So there's kind of two separate sets of teams in soccer. There's club teams, which would be like your Manchester United and your Milan FC and your, whatever. So there are all these like city club teams all over. And for those teams, anyone can play for anyone. It's you trade players, you buy players. Yeah. It's no different than the NFL, whatever. The World Cup, as run by FIFA, totally separate. The World Cup has rules. If you want to play for a World Cup country, I'm going to get these wrong probably a little bit, but broadly speaking, what I'm saying is true. Either you have to be born in that country, a parent has to be born in that country, or a grandparent has to be born in that country. Or it might be something like if your grandparent was born there and you've lived there for 5 or more years, then you can play for that country. Now, what this means is for a lot of people, there's like 2 or 3 different countries that they might be able to play for, right? Because like their parents from here, they were born there. However, once you've selected your team, you can never change it.
Okay.
So some of our guys could have played for, Croatia or whatever, and they selected America. And that once you've selected it, you are locked in for life. You cannot play for a different team. So it truly is like a restrictive national, it's meant to be a restrictive sort of national representation. You cannot, one of our guys couldn't just go play for Sweden if he felt like it,
I see. That makes sense.
It is kind of a representation of the heritage of the people, right, in your particular country, which is fun. That's a cool thing. So I thought that was pretty interesting.
Wow.
I know.
Here we are freezing to death again.
It's a fun time, once again.
Okay. We're close to an hour, which is the time that I read some viewer emails right at the end.
Yeah, right. And get a couple in there.
Okay, we'll be quick about this. David asks a question for me about cleaning, which I'm honored that I'm the cleaning expert. I don't know if I have all the answers you need, but David says, my shower has a ripple texture on the glass I've tried Windex and vinegar and a variety of brushes and scrubbers, but the hard water stains are not coming off. How would you clean this? I would replace the glass door with a shower curtain. I hate a glass door in a shower. I think they're annoying. For specifically the reason you're saying. I have no idea. I don't know how to get the stains off. They're always stained. You have a shower curtain, you put it in the washing machine, and you're done.
Wait, I'm sorry. You what? You put your shower curtain in the washing machine?
Oh yeah, wait, dude. Okay, I felt like a genius. No, I felt like a genius the first time I figured this out. You can put the plastic one in there too, yeah. I put the plastic and the...
But you can't put it in the dryer.
Well, no. You take it out and you hang it back up. But you can put it in the washing machine with... I do the plastic and the cloth one at the same time. And I do like a cup of vinegar and some laundry detergent. And it's so much easier. I used to, like an idiot, be scrubbing my plastic shower curtain standing in the shower, which is crazy. Just put it in the washing machine.
I thought everyone just threw them out when they got dirty because they cost like $8.
Well, I haven't gone that far. But anyway,
all right.
It's kind of a joke answer to this question because we do actually have one of our showers in our house because, that makes me sound so wealthy. One of our many showers.
One of our many showers.
We have 2 bathrooms, but one of them's like just a standing shower, like not a full bathtub. And it has a glass door. And I hate that shit, dude. I especially hate because it introduces all kinds of...
Is it cloudy like he's talking about? Is it like a rippley?
No.
Because we honestly have a plain glass, and I feel like we don't struggle with it. But maybe I'm just not as...
it's a pain in the ass to clean because you have to it's a lot of surface area, vertical surface area to be cleaning. And then it introduces all these extra cracks and crevices at the top and the bottom and where everything's like sliding around. And there's like all this extra caulking that can get mold behind it and stuff. I think it's annoying. So I don't really have an answer for you.
I don't know. I feel like ours is super clean. Maybe it's just a different type because I think ours is open top. So it's not like it's a sealed shower. And it is just like a single piece of tempered glass or whatever.
And does it open like a door? It's not a sliding one?
It opens like a door. It's not a sliding thing.
I think the sliding ones are harder to clean.
Caulk, really. It's like a sticky rubber thing, like a rubber
yeah, those ones are not as bad.
Door curtain.
I'm talking about the sliding ones with multiple panels. I just have a different type of one. But
got it. All right.
For an actual answer to the question, I would say, have you tried a bathroom cleaner with citric acid in it? That's what I used to use for when we had hard water in Indiana, and that was the only thing that like really helped. It's some kind of liquid bathroom cleaner that has citric acid as the main ingredient. And then I think just don't mix that with bleach because you'll die or something. But
I thought that was ammonia. Maybe it's everything.
I think it's any kind of acid in bleach or whatever. Just don't mix anything, just to be safe.
Don't mix cleaning products.
And then Andrew asked, why don't we ever... Well, I don't know if he asked us to explain why or just was making an observation that we never use our phones in a dream. And I was like, I do think that's true. I don't think I've used my phone in a dream. Have you?
No, I don't think so. There are sometimes weird things I notice about dreams like that. But yeah, do I ever use my phone? I mean, how often in a dream are you looking at an object that's in your hands? Period.
That's the thing is I think it's related to the fact that like you're never even... Yeah.
It's like you're not even aware enough in that way. But if you were lucid dreaming, could you? Would be the question.
Yeah. Wait, good question. I don't know.
Well, that's the other thing. It's like if you're lucid dreaming and you try to meditate, what happens? Does your brain just explode? Like if you try to be mindful of the space around you, but it's a dream space, you know?
I actually have
I don't know.
Kind of lucid dreamed one time.
It kind of happens to me sometimes, but never like full on, I know I'm in a dream.
It
because like as soon as I realize it, I feel like I start waking up.
Oh, for sure. It never lasts for very long, but it happened to me a couple times as a kid. And one of the times I was able to just like, I remember I was able to just stand in while I was dreaming, obviously. As long as I just stood, not touching anything, and closed my eyes and imagined a place, then I would teleport to that place when I open my eyes. So I just
I
did that a few times. And
That's
then and there was another time where I realized I was dreaming and was like, oh, so I could just fly, and I started being able to fly. I haven't had that happen since I'm an adult.
How aware are you that you're dreaming? Like, okay. I'm not saying I don't believe in lucid dreaming, but every time it's happened, it's like, I don't know that if I would say I'm aware that I'm dreaming, like, hey, I know that I'm laying in this bed, in this room, in this city. It's just like you become aware of that there is like, you have control over the situation. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like you know you're in a dream, you just... something flips and you're no longer a passenger.
I don't know. I would say
you know, does that make sense?
I would say I knew that I was dreaming, but I don't know.
Like, you could have thought to yourself, hey, I'm going to teleport into my own bedroom and look at myself sleeping, and it would have worked.
Maybe.
But I guess I don't know why I'm asking you this now. Like, you're going to know.
I haven't done this since I was a kid, and it just happened on accident.
Try and do it soon.
But then I do...
let me know.
I do still occasionally have a dream where I keep thinking I'm awake and then I'm not. So I'm like kind of aware that I'm dreaming and I want to wake up, but I keep having like repeatedly, I'll like quote, wake up in my bed and be like, okay, I'm awake now, and get up.
Yes.
But then I actually am still dreaming, and it happens again, and it'll happen like multiple times. And I feel like that is just like, in real life, like my body is actually like trying to wake up, but my brain hasn't quite, like the chemicals are still not aligned for me to actually wake up.
And that's like what happens if you would wake up, then you'd be sleep paralyzed, right?
Yeah.
And that's not good.
But yeah, if
I had a dream the other night.
Lucid dream again, I'll try to look at my phone. Because I wonder what would be on there.
Please.
What's on Instagram in my dream world?
Oh my God. Yeah, who knows? Pictures of other people's dreams, I guess, getting posted. Could you post something?
Ooh.
Yeah. I had a dream. It was the most vivid dream I ever had in my life the other day. And it was another one of these very like 10-second long dreams. But I just dreamt. And I just knew, I don't even remember really where I was. But I just kind of like became aware. And I knew that I was like 85 years old. And I thought to myself, no. Oh my God, I wasted my whole life. It's over already. That's horrible. And then I woke up and had a panic attack. So there you go. That's my dream.
That's so upsetting.
Isn't that great? It was really upsetting. I had a horrible day because of that. I was like, but it also gave me a new appreciation for not being 85 years old. But it gave me this distinct sense that when I'm 85, it's going to feel like it instantly happened, which it will, obviously. That's just the way of how time works. But it was
that's one of those dreams that is like just very obviously connected to a real anxiety. Like you don't need a dream interpreter to tell you what that meant.
Yeah, you know how it is.
Oof. I don't know.
Yeah.
I always
horrible.
I love that we're coming back around to mortality at the end of the episode. It's very classic.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I hope that it's like people say, sometimes you'll see an interview with a 99-year-old and they'll be like, I feel very ready to go. I've done everything that I wanted to do.
I'm crossing my fingers.
And
please.
So I hope so. I hope so.
I don't believe anyone feels that way. I feel like
you think they're coping
is going to be terrifying.
You think it's a cope?
Yeah, I think maybe they feel fine with it. And also there's like a camera on them and they don't want to look like a weakling.
Yeah.
So they say that. But I just don't believe that I'm sure there's the space in between, like you're dying, and then when your when your brain floods you with like chemicals, and suddenly you're like are really high, and
your brain's
crazy.
Already flooding. You're saying Blaine?
Yeah, true. I'm getting out of here. I'm on the way out. I'm 85 mentally, but I feel like it's terrifying. Like there's no way that it's not. It has to be, and that's fine. It's fine. Like, of course it would be.
It's just inevitable. I will be saying that shit, though. I will be saying the Hope Core shit to, like, my family because I just don't want them to, like, worry that I'm afraid or whatever. So
exactly. And it also then helps the younger people not worry about death until it's time to freak out about it. You know what I mean? Like it's you just assume that you're going to be fine with it.
I remember when
I appreciate that we keep this going, this illusion.
I remember when I first like started having my crisis about the fact that I'm going to die, which I guess is like, it's very common to happen to you when you're like 12, around like 12 years old, you like have a crisis about it because you kind of like come to the realization that that's
common. Because that's when I had mine. I didn't know it was common.
Yeah, I think it's actually like a thing because that's when your brain can actually comprehend the concept. And so you like freak out a little bit about it. But I remember like being really scared of it. And all the adults would just say, don't worry, you got a long time left. Which in the long run is like not that helpful because like the scary thing about it is the inevitability. Not that like, I mean, yeah, I guess I have a long time left, but like...
it's just the fact that it's coming.
That excuse doesn't last forever. You know, once I'm like 40, you could still say I have a while, but it's not as long as when I was 12.
It's not as long, and it feels a lot shorter. So yeah, I don't know why. You'd think it would be easy, but maybe not. Maybe it makes sense that it's kind of scary because we are, I think I've said this before, but we are like the first version of the universe getting to know itself. Like the universe wasn't supposed to be aware of its own mortality per se. And so it makes sense that the first go around of that, we would just be burdened with terror as part of the price we pay for.
You think we'll evolve out of the terror someday?
I mean, I'm saying it could happen. I could totally see that happening, or maybe just like life takes on a totally different form in a gajillion years, you know?
Yeah.
And so it's like we're not even thinking in those terms anymore. But it makes sense that the first known instance of the universe coming to terms with its existence, that there's a price to pay, and that we have to pay it, which is existential terror every time we record a podcast.
Do you want to just go...
Now everyone else has to pay that price too.
Do you want to just go in on one of these cryo tubes? That's like millions of dollars. We can just get frozen and just pin all our hopes on hoping that we get awoken someday.
Haven't all of those just ended up with the tubes being melted and their bodies like slurping out of a hole? Like there hasn't been one that's... Right? Like eventually they just run out of money. And they're like, all right, well, I guess we're just going to
pay the electric bill.
Yeah, and it's just that's the way it goes. I don't think I would do that. But it's hard to say.
I mean, I wouldn't do it because there's simply no way it's going to work. But
no way? I feel like we'll figure out...
I don't think that any of these companies have the technology or the knowledge to do this.
No, they don't. But that's the idea, is that if you freeze someone, you can be frozen for 20,000 years, and in that time, we will come up with the technology.
Right,
and then the knowledge, right? But that's not going to work either because they froze your brain. So that's not a way out of that.
Yeah. I think it's funny, because we've talked about this before because I've looked up these companies, but... I think it's funny there's like different tiers you can buy into. You can have your whole body frozen or just your brain. And it's like cheaper to just do the brain.
Why would you even want to do that?
To save money.
Jesus Christ.
It's a bargain.
Yeah. I mean, if it's the only thing you can afford. I feel like we're just going to solve aging before we're going to... It's like, it's more likely that we just figure out how not to age than it is that we figure out how to wake up a frozen brain. Like, it just doesn't seem possible.
Yeah. But there's people out there that have done it. So maybe we'll end the episode with that thought, guys, is somewhere out there.
Wake them up.
There's a rich person frozen in a cryo tube.
And somehow every episode we come back to Encino Man.
Oh my God.
Isn't that crazy? You always find a way to... It's just every episode now. Existential Crisis and Encino Man, the two E's.
Yeah, and he was just frozen in a regular-ass glacier.
And he was fine. He didn't even mind. He actually did really well.
Imagine how many hot cavemen are waiting to be dug up in an LA kid's backyard.
At least one.
Wow.
How far back do you think you'd have to go before you stopped thinking we were attractive?